to another podcast episode with Zachary from Stewart Ranch Services. We are in the Brandon Film and Media studio with Marie Rieger from Brandon Film and Media. Take it away, guys.
Hey, welcome. This is your second podcast in the studio.
Yeah.
So happy to have you back. It's crazy how many things have happened in the last, what was it, 6 weeks?
I'd say, yeah.
Roughly
6
months?
weeks.
I don't.
Maybe it hadn't been that long.
I don't even know what day it is, so it's hard to even.
Yeah, I hear you.
Calculate.
Yeah.
Your life is a lot like ours. You're just constantly
we've definitely
running.
been on the go lately.
Yes, so much has been happening. So the business has changed a little bit in the last 6 weeks. You've brought some new things on. So what sticks out first as far as business goes? Like what's happened?
I'd say the excavator that we just purchased. It's a 20.5-ton machine, so it's got the ability to do land clearing, make sure we don't leave any stumps behind. If you need site prep, demolition, it's going to make us a lot more efficient in the demolition.
Oh, wow.
We could still do underground trenching, excavation, ponds, stuff like that. So
okay, and why is that different from the other excavators out there?
So the other excavator that you guys came out and see me do the demo with, it was about a 20,000-pound machine.
Oh.
This machine is 43,000 pounds.
Whoa.
It's big.
Oh my goodness.
So the efficiency level is just going to go way up. And,
yeah.
I mean, we're still going to spend the same amount of time on the job, but you're going to get a lot more in that day for it to work. So we won't be fighting stumps, digging way down, a lot of the times.
Yeah, like that job we saw.
Yeah.
That was
which there is times where you will still have to dig around it and stuff, but it all kind of started. I had the 250G excavator at my house. It's my father-in-law's. And I went and did a little bit of clearing on the property. I'm like, yeah, this is where we need to go.
Okay.
This is so much more efficient. And my wheels started turning. And
it's so much larger. So you also needed a huge vehicle to transport this thing. I mean, I know you were already looking. So tell us about that.
So we got a Mack semi. It has a big winch on the back. So it's got winching capabilities.
What's her name?
We haven't figured it out. I'm going to let my dad.
Right.
So it's a Mack. So, they got the dog on there. So when we bought it, it was missing the little logo on the front, the little dog. My dad already sent it to me. He said, hey, I need you to go ahead and order that dog, the gold one. We need it on there. So that's another thing that's changed.
It's a gold dog.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
Maybe that'll be the name.
Gold dog.
Yeah, there you go. That's another thing that changed is my parents moved up from South Texas.
Yes, from Magnolia.
Yep. So my dad's ran trucks 30-plus years. He's done a multitude of things, but his dad ran trucks, and it's kind of just in their blood as far as running the trucks. So we've been hounding him for a little while. Hey, we want you to come on board. We want you to run a truck for us. So he has a CDL and the capabilities to do that, and he can run the equipment. Yeah. So it's going to be a really good thing for us because he's a lot older and wiser than me and Jacob. So
you and Jacob, I mean, as far as business goes, y'all are so professional.
Well, I learned a lot from him. So my dad was in the rental business for 20 years. So he dealt with people every single day, and all different kinds of people, trouble people, good people. And he had a lot of pressure, and we saw that growing up. I mean, he worked at the same place until I got out of high school.
Oh, wow.
And he's really good with people. You think we're good with people? He is very good with people.
Well, what I wanted to make sure I said to you today on the podcast that, you said you've learned everything from your grandpa and your dad.
Yeah.
But just the short time that we get to spend with you, they shine so bright through you. I feel like I get to know things from them
absolutely.
too.
And I try to,
because you're just so professional. You're always quick to follow up. You always, just business-wise, you're just so professional, so... And I'm
for us, it's real simple. For as long as I can remember, my dad's always told us, you tell someone you're going to do something, do it.
Yes.
And it's simple as that. I mean, so...
Well, it's not as simple as that when you're dealing with machinery and inflation.
Well, that's why we try to communicate.
Weather, fire,
Because there's absolutely always an issue. Whether it be the machines, the trucks, the trailers, we're going to have problems. So it's up to us to just communicate with the customers and let them know if there's a delay or what's going on. So... that's definitely something I learned from my dad.
Right. But you're so good at it. It's not frustrating. It's frustrating on your end.
Oh yeah, it could be frustrating.
But for the homeowners, you communicate in a way so they understand.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they, you're not going to charge them for, while you're out working on the truck.
Yeah,
which is one
absolutely.
reason why you don't charge hourly. It's
Right.
like by the job.
Yeah.
Because, sometimes
We can either do it
right,
by the job or by the day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for instance, the CMI is down right now. Jacob was going, and he got into a pile.
and what's the CMI again?
The mulching unit, the
Yes.
dedicated mulching unit.
Mm-hmm.
Jacob was out in the Kona the other day working,
Mm-hmm.
and the injector went out on it. Well, it was a set price for the job, so okay, I contacted the gentleman, let him know, hey, the machine's down.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to get it right over to the shop. They'll get it fixed, and we'll come back and do it. So he knows what's going on, and as soon as it's back up and running, we'll be back in action. So
yeah, back in action.
it's always something with the machines, though. That's just how it goes. I
It
mean, we
is.
ask a lot of these machines every single day. I mean, we're going up to 30-inch trees and, turning them into
Yes.
chips or small brush, whatever it may be. I mean, it's constant flow going
It
to that
is.
machine. So
It is. And when we first got started, you said, okay, the market's saturated, but we're different.
Oh,
And I
absolutely.
want to market how we're different, and it's working.
Oh, it's definitely working. Yeah.
These people, they know that you're a family. You are Stewart Ranch Services. You're just a
Absolutely.
family-owned business. You're honest. You won't leave things messy, and it's so wonderful. We went to that job site where you tore that building down, an old dairy.
Yeah, Brian. Yep.
Yes, he was so great, and I loved how he said, well, I knew my wife would ask, well, did you research that company? And he said, I watched the podcast. And what a great way to, advertise your business and display your personality. And the fact that people are really watching.
Yeah, we got a lot
It's
of
so
great
great.
feedback on it. I wasn't sure how it was going to go. I knew it'd be good, as far as me and you talking and everything like that, but I wasn't sure about the feedback. But
Right.
we're actually seeing the right customers come to us now
Yes.
for that.
And even a different company, the dump truck guy pulled up. And he
Yeah.
said, oh, hey, I saw your podcast. I said,
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
did? Oh,
Yeah.
my God. That's wonderful.
So,
It's so good. I love how you're being showcased. People are seeing it. Because I was worried. Our team, Capri works so hard on the posts and the ads, and we want to make sure that people are seeing that you're different and the fact that it's working.
Oh, it's definitely working.
And now you're starting to get some commercial jobs.
yeah,
right?
so we landed our first commercial right-away job, which is something really big for us.
Yeah.
Really big for us. And that actually came from a very good friend of mine that recommended us and just put us with the right people.
Good.
It's, things are really starting to fall into place for us. So.
Right. And it's,
And
good
it's all
people
part of this
doing good
process,
things.
though.
Yeah.
It's all part of
and
what we're
it's your
doing.
diligence too. I mean, you even though you have all these machines breaking down, you're like, oh, I still got to do this. I
Yeah,
gotta
absolutely.
Call this person, check in with here, and the whole business aspect. Okay, back to the truck. So you're buying this huge truck, and I don't know the terms.
It's a semi.
The semi.
I mean, it's a
the
tandem.
Gold Dog.
Yeah.
But you're going to be able to haul things off. Like
Yeah,
you're-
so we're going to be doing heavy haul. So if there's any machines, pipe, pretty much if it's safe and it fits on the truck, and whether whoever we're picking up for has the ability to load it and unload it, we can haul it. Now, if you have a broke down machine, we have that winch on the back. As long as we can get it in neutral or disengage the tracks, we can actually winch that up onto our trailer.
Oh, wow.
So we're rated up for 35 tons. That's 70,000 pounds.
Wow. I can't wait to
So-
get video and footage
So,
of that.
and like I said, it's pretty exciting for us because my dad's going to be doing it. And it's going to take a lot off of me and Jacob's plate because right now me and Jacob are the ones moving the machines. And it takes a lot moving these machines, That's the thing is we go do the job. It's not over, So got to get it back home, get it cleaned, get it ready, get on to the next job. And where I live, nothing's close.
No.
Even if I work in Silver Lakes, it's still 20 minutes,
Right.
Just
right. With
because
a
you got to be
big
careful with
machine.
these machines.
And
yeah.
these roads, they're not just highways.
No.
They have tree tunnels, and you have to really navigate
Absolutely.
around.
Yeah.
The
So when Jacob first started with me, because I started it on my own, and then we got busy enough, and I wanted some help. Jacob came on board with me. He could not drive a trailer to save his life.
he couldn't back it.
No, he couldn't. Yeah, he could go straight, but he couldn't back it just because it's not something he'd really done. So I just
Right.
told him, "All right, man, here you go." My dad gave him some pointers, and he's probably better than I am now. He's
Okay.
He's pretty good on the trailer. Well, because I've had him do it. I mean, it just kind of works out to where if I've got to go do bids or something, he pretty much mans that trailer, and he's pretty good at it now. So,
Oh, good.
Yeah, he had to figure it out.
Yes, we really enjoy watching the whole process because it's the homeowners and the land. Like there's so much prep work before.
Oh, absolutely.
And you can't just go start digging or tearing. There's just so much.
Well, we really like including the customers in the process. I really, really try to push for, if you can be there, we really want you to be there, because we have several customers that say, hey, just make it look good. I've seen you guys' work. We're not worried about it.
Right.
But it's still, we want it to be exactly how they want it. So
Right.
if they're there and we can stop for a minute, hey, what do you think? This is our recommendation, but we're going to go off of what you want. It makes a huge difference.
Huge difference.
Where I don't think there's many other companies.
And just the site that we saw when you're tearing the building down, the husband, he's excited to tear it down.
Oh, absolutely.
Because he wants the land clear. He wants a view. He has a vision, and it's so beautiful out there. The wife she was sad she couldn't be there. So we got to call her, and I videoed the whole thing. We got to show her multiple videos. And then her mom, she's sad because it's a part of her past.
Yeah, it was definitely a part of their family.
And so you're not just dealing with one character on these job sites. I was wonderful to see you just take care of the whole family.
No, that was really an awesome job. I really enjoyed working with Brian and talking with him. He's kind of into the dirt bikes like I am and stuff. And he was out there all day with us. Not that he needed to be, but he enjoyed talking with us and being a part of it, because there were some things on that job where, hey, is this exactly how you want it? And we want to make sure with them. Because
you had to separate the materials too. And is that something you do on every site, or how does
it
that
really
work?
depends on so we've got a job that I bid in Saginaw. It's 5,000 square foot, biggest demo job we've ever bid. It's cinder block, and then just the roof is metal and there's windows. So when I do that one, I'll separate all the cinder block and concrete and then all debris. And we'll haul the cinder block and concrete off with dump trucks, and the debris I'll use roll-offs. And that really helps with the costs, and we're passing that on to the customer, doing it the most efficient way possible.
Right. I posted that on my story, and I had people hitting me up for the metal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They were saying, "What are they doing that metal? Can I come get it?" I said, "Oh no, they have plans for every pile, everything."
I get that all the time. I would have came and taken it down. Well, not as quickly as I can. And for us, it comes down to, that's not what I do. We come in and we're not saving anything. It's going to be demolished. If they want to go that route, then they would need to find someone who is going to come in with hand tools and take it apart. But a lot more time. And what we've seen on those is a lot of guys come in, they get what they want, you never see them again. And now you're left with the headache that you got to try to figure out, where we're going to come in and give you a turnkey price to do the job, and it's done. You don't have anything to worry about. So.
Wow. And okay, so back to the excavator. What types of jobs are you wanting to do with the excavator? Like, what was your purpose to buy the big one, the big boy?
Mainly the mesquite clearing, because you can mulch the mesquites and follow up with the spray. But if you have mesquites, there's a possibility you're going to be dealing with them for the rest of your life, whether we come in and grub them or we mulch them. We've had good results coming in and mulching them, and the customer sprays them, and there's no regrowth. But there's absolutely a possibility of that regrowing back. Where if we can get in there with the excavator and remove the taproot and get rid of
mesquites are deep.
Yeah,
right?
they're very deep.
Okay.
If we can remove the taproot and get them away and not leave them, if you leave them in piles and stuff, you'll start to see it come back up in the piles.
Okay.
Because
how do mesquites spread? Is it through the ground? Is it through seeds?
It's through seeds, birds, cattle. That's why you see on a lot of these big cattle ranches, if they're running cattle and they have mesquites, well, those cattle will go and eat the little beans, and then next thing you know, they're all over the place. And that's how they got here in Texas. We originally didn't have them, but when they brought all the cows up from Mexico, they were feeding them those beans, and that's why you kind of see it stop, up north a little bit. 'Cause like I said, I didn't make it that far, but
they had
terrible.
emptied out by the time they got all the way up there.
Terrible. We're not a fan at all.
Not a fan. No.
There's nothing productive about them. I mean, they rob a lot of water. They kill the grass, and they just spread very fast. So we always recommend, if you don't have a large mesquite problem, say you've got 10 acres and it's pretty sporadic, you don't have a lot of growth where it's very thick, we recommend coming in with the excavator, and we can kind of help really stop that spread.
Okay.
Where in we try to do the mulching to where there's no beans on them and stuff because that's what spreads it. And actually by mulching, sometimes you can make it worse.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and that's just another thing that makes your business good. You'll go out there and tell them, like, we're not going to, I know you want us to do this, but if we do, there's some steps
absolutely.
to take.
And I mean, we kind of give them the option on the mesquites. For the longest time, I wouldn't do it. And I kind of learned a little bit more about it, and I said, okay, well, we'll give them the option. I'll tell them, hey, there's a chance either way. It doesn't matter which one I do. There's a chance. Because if you go up into Wichita Falls and you see all those piles that have been sitting out there forever, we actually did one where the lot right here, they grubbed it with the dozer or Traco, whatever it was, and we came in and mulched it. That was over a year ago. She's had no regrowth.
Oh, wow.
And the one that they left the piles out there, there's all kinds of regrowth coming up. And
they're thriving.
That one, it really came down to me explaining to her options and what we could do, and she decided to go that route. And she sprayed it. We don't applicate any of the spray. The customer has to follow up and do the spraying on their own. So.
Okay. All right. I saw that you did Terry Williams' house.
Yeah.
She's my cousin.
That's what she was telling me.
Yeah.
She was really good to work with.
Yeah, and there's a realtor for you.
Yeah.
Because she's.
We're actually
kind of
working with her right now, trying to find my father-in-law some land. So
good.
It all kind of goes full circle. With it's all part of. That's why we enjoy this. It's the people we meet. And as you guys know, I'm a talker.
I know.
I'm a talker.
I know, but it's so easy to throw your name out there because I know you're going to take care of them.
Absolutely.
And I know you're going to be nice and you're going to be respectful. And
I really, the first thing I told Terry is when I went in and worked with her, I met with her on the job. She had 2 brush piles, and then she had some other stuff that she wanted cleaned up. Told her, hey, here's what it's going to take. And she said, okay, let's do it.
Right.
She didn't question anything, hey, will you negotiate on the price or anything? She knows what it takes to get it done. And she was happy to do that. And that really makes a big difference when they appreciate the work that you're doing. And she really did. And her job turned out really awesome.
Yes,
so.
it's beautiful. Yeah, that was
and
property.
She's actually going to get a pool put in there. That's why it was such a push to get that pile out of the way, because she's going to get a pool in that area. So
okay, well, good deal. Well, where do you any visions for the next 6 months? Any ideas?
I think I better take it easy right now. Just keep going with the work that we have. We don't have any of the equipment that we first started with. I don't have a single truck, single trailer, single piece of the equipment.
It's all been
turned over.
Wow.
And a lot of people probably think, man, this guy's crazy. Well, it's just all part of the plan. Things change.
Right.
We bought machines that we thought, okay, this is going to be all right. And then you get down the road and you start having some issues with it, and it's just not worth it to keep running that machine. But for us, it's, as everybody can kind of tell, we reinvest into the business a lot.
Right.
And that's my goal, was to get the most efficient equipment out there, so we can do the best job possible.
Right. I almost want to do a post during a week how much you all drive.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to drop off, take,
So,
buy.
my dad's...
You're like, I'm in Oklahoma, I'm in San Antonio, I'm in Houston.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. So my parents moved up. It's been about 2 weeks now. Me and Jacob went down there to help him kind of get some of the stuff, wrap things up, and they came up. We haven't stopped with my dad. Me and Jacob went to Lubbock to buy him a motorcycle, and
goodness.
then
that was a nice one. I saw that.
And then went to Oklahoma City to buy me a new motorcycle.
But first, you sold a motorcycle. I can always tell when you're ready to buy something.
Yeah.
Because you're like, this is for sale.
Yeah.
And then as soon as it sells,
well, everything's
you're
for
like,
sale.
Oh,
that's one thing my grandpa definitely taught me. It's all for sale. If they want to pay the price, come on. I'll get something else. It's no big deal for me. So that's what we did, is we sold the skid steer off. We sold the excavator off, and it just kind of all worked out to where I knew what I wanted to do and just had to make it happen. And that's what Jacobs always says, man, this is a lot to put into play. You've got a lot to figure out. And that's all, I got it. Just let me figure it out. As long as you're good with it and we're on the same page, I've got it. And that's what our commercial banker said. The lady that actually writes the loan, she told our commercial banker, man, those guys sure don't hold on to anything long. And he said, no, just things changed, and they're upgrading. They really know. And that's over the last, I'd say, 6 months, we found the direction that we really want to head.
Oh, good. Good. Have you ever bought a machine where you're like, it'll be okay, but then it like turns out?
Yeah, absolutely.
Which one is that?
The John Deere 333.
Oh, yeah?
That we had, that skid steer that I sold.
Oh, yeah.
I ran them a lot in the commercial concrete. We used them for the dirt. They're absolute tanks. But for what I was trying to do with it, I really wasn't that pleased with it. And we've had some other machines that we didn't have for very long. A brand new machine.
Right.
And it didn't turn out to what, there's too many issues with it and on down the road.
Right. And you don't really know until you get out there and do it.
And that's the thing. I mean, with these machines, is you're always going to have a problem. Thankful to our great administration, the emissions on these machines that they're putting and on the trucks, they're making it really hard to not have issues on these machines, to be emissions compliant. And it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. Honestly, most of the issues that we have out of these machines is going to be emissions issues. And that's why I decided to buy that dedicated mulching unit, because it doesn't have emissions. I wanted something with no emissions where we didn't have those problems.
Is that because you have to get permits for
So,
the vehicles, or
it's with the diesel. I mean, same thing with the diesel trucks. I've had problems out of the diesel trucks. Like in California, if I wanted to go out there and work for the Forestry Service or some of these other states, if you don't have emissions on your machine, they will not let you work. Here in Texas, that's not really a thing. It may be for the Forestry Service. That's not the type of work that I'm after, so it doesn't matter for us. I can't stand the emissions.
Yeah,
they're terrible.
It's holding you back. But
It
you're
really
still
is.
going forward.
Yeah,
You're
we're
still full steam
I mean, it is
ahead,
what it
and
is. You just got to keep going with it. So,
right. It's like shortage
I mean,
of
that's the thing
toilets.
with
we
diesel
found
prices.
out. Did you know there's a shortage of toilets?
No.
Right, Michael?
Doesn't surprise
there's
me,
like
though.
one toilet available in the whole U.S.
Yeah.
Great. Awesome.
Yeah.
What do we do?
Yeah. Well, and the
we'll
diesel
figure it
too.
out.
I mean, we've seen a huge increase on the diesel, but it's just part of it, and you just got to keep rocking and rolling and hoping it comes down, because it's not only the machines that take diesel, it's the truck, and especially that semi that we're going to be running. I mean, I think a lot of guys are seeing it's costing them about $1 a mile right now to run down the road.
I know.
That's expensive.
It's so much.
That's very expensive, especially when you're going all over the place. You know, if we go from Bowie to Decatur, I mean, it adds up quick.
Yeah, it's 26 miles.
Yeah, it adds up quick.
Every time.
So, yeah.
Every time. Well, we have so enjoyed the podcast and doing business with you, and now we're excited there's even more family coming up, so we can get to know your mom and, and get her take on what it's like to move up here, and she's moving to the ranch. Or
So
no, she bought
they
land.
actually really lucked out. After my mom's sister passed away, she kind of really felt a void, and then we lost my grandpa. She just kind of felt like, hey, I want to be with the grandkids. I want to be up there. Me and Jacob are up here. We still have one brother back in Magnolia, though.
How long do you think he'll stay there?
It's hard to say. He's in with a really good group of guys that are really teaching him some things down there and with his work and stuff, and he really enjoys working with them. So
that's good.
we'll see.
But most likely he'll be up here.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know.
You never know. So we're willing to take him if he wants to come, but right now he's got a good gig down there, and it's going really well. So,
Right.
but they moved up. They were looking for places, and we looked all over, and just nothing was hitting them, because they lived in the same place for 30 years. Very nice place.
hard.
I mean, so it was hard for them to leave. And my dad always said, I'm not a settler, so I'm not going to settle for less than what I have. And they found a place 2 minutes down the road from me.
Perfect.
And it was kind of a God thing. My mom seen it before, and it was pending under contract. And then she seen it again, and she's like, well, that's not even available. She clicked on it, and it was. Came up the next day and said, all right, we're going to buy it.
That's wonderful.
So, and not only that, she sold my cousin's place for her sister who passed away and got them into a new place. So they're in Bowie as well, which kind of worked out for them. Our cousin Caleb, he's 31. Him and Jacob growing up were like two peas in a pod. Well, right before Caleb turned 18, he did a double backflip on a trampoline, and he got paralyzed from the waist down.
Oh, wow.
That was 14 years ago. So Caleb's had he's really had to give some grit and man up and do what it takes. And not only that, he's lost his dad. He lost his mom. So they've been through a lot.
Right.
It worked out. He's got a little brother. They were able to find a place where Jared's got his own house and Caleb's got his own house. So they're kind of separate, but they're still together, and we're all still very close.
Still close.
Saturday night was the first night we all kind of got together, watched the UFC fight, and It was a good time. Of course, we did crawfish. Yeah,
of course
you
you did.
know, yeah.
Yes, and we're trying to pick a date to do a crawfish boil with, us and Kason and Jeremiah with Crown, and, so you can showcase the equipment. We can have people out for food and drinks and
Absolutely.
tell our clients thank you.
Yeah.
But most likely we'll have to wait until May is finished because we're all about to die.
Yeah, it's busy, and we're busy right now. And that's the thing is I've got to look and say, okay, well, we cannot work this day. Because the crawfish, it's an all-day affair.
Oh, yes.
Especially the amount that we're going to do. It'll be over 100 pounds.
Right, and we're going to use North Texas crawfish, correct?
Yeah, Cole is awesome. We've been buying crawfish for him. I just got it hooked up with him this year, and the quality has been awesome. But not only the quality, the customer service. I can tell him, hey, man, I want the crawfish, and he's on it.
And y'all do it almost every weekend, don't you?
Yeah, we do it quite a bit.
Or is
Being
it
from
a couple
South
times
Texas,
a week?
it's expensive. No matter how you cut it, it's expensive.
It
so
is.
Being from South Texas, I mean, me and Jacob have been eating crawfish since before we could peel them.
Oh, wow.
Same thing with my daughter. I started feeding them to her about 6 months old. It's just part of, kind of who we are and what we do. Now, my mom's the only one who doesn't really like them. I shouldn't say doesn't really like. She doesn't like them. My grandma, even my grandpa, he didn't like them.
No.
My mom always says the only reason you guys have good taste in food is because your dad. he likes some different stuff, but yeah, we love some crawfish.
Yeah,
that's
you
for
do.
Sure. Yeah.
It shows, and hopefully we'll get it together and get to have this social. I know we will.
Well, and that was the hardest
thing. When's the
thing.
season over? That's what
June. So
okay.
we've still got some time. That was the hardest thing for me, I think, when I moved up, is it's not really big up here. In South Texas, it's big. I mean, you can always get crawfish. Up here, it was such a struggle to get them, and really the quality. I don't mind paying.
Oh, because you do, and then they're tiny.
Yeah,
and
or they're dead. I've bought some where they're, you get a whole sack and they're pretty much dead.
Really?
Yeah.
goodness.
That's not the experience that I've had with Cole. You're always going to have a couple dead here and there, but the last one we did, I don't even think we picked out any dead ones.
Oh, wow. Did you see my picture from New Orleans?
I did.
I don't know if if the picture did it justice, but that sucker was this big.
Yeah. They're getting pretty big right now.
It was a lobster.
Yeah.
It was good. And that was our main stop. There were all these nice restaurants, and our whole family goes to picnic table in the street with crawfish.
Yeah. Well, and down there in Louisiana, there's so much different. I mean, because I went to a national dirt bike race down there, NEPG, and that's what me and my wife did. We hit 3 different ones, and all 3 of them, the taste was so much different. They were good, but different. And especially you see it, the people in Louisiana do it different from people here in Texas. Even people in Texas, they do them.
They do.
Different.
They do.
We've got our way of doing it, and
the best crawfish I've had so far, Huntsville, Texas.
Yeah, that's not too far from where I grew up, so that's why.
I know.
Yeah.
And you just can't beat it. And that's what one of the girls said in New Orleans. She goes, it's just not the same.
No.
I mean, it was good.
It's not. Like some people, they like them like super hot. We don't, because we use the whole crawfish, the head, all of it. And well, if you got them where you can't, stand them, and you're sitting there sucking the head, that's not enjoyable. I want to be able to enjoy them. So we'll definitely put some heat behind them, but my dad always says we got to please everyone. Not everybody likes them that way, so do them a little bit more mild. And
you do the salt water before?
Yeah. We purge them in a cooler and drain it and drain it and drain it.
And why do they call that a vein? Because it's not a vein. It's a poop tube.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't care though. I'll be honest.
I don't care.
The whole
I don't
thing,
care
it's all good to me.
But that was one of our funny discussions. Like, this is not a vein.
Well, I got some buddies that they'll say that the vein and they pull it out. I'm like, no, I don't care. A lot of times we don't even peel them. You just turn it and just bam, straight out of the shell. Jacob's pretty good at that.
He is. And we need to get that on video.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, I'm excited to see where the next few months take us all, because with this growth and good businesses, good people, I really feel like it's all starting to come together.
Yeah, absolutely. And that excavator is really going to help the dedicated mulching unit that we have. You guys have seen where we'll take down a 30-inch tree within less than 30 minutes, and it's good luck finding the stump. But if they don't want that stump left behind for if there's site prep or you're going to put a home there, we can fall that tree efficiently, move it aside, and then Jacob can still come and mulch it up. That way there's no piles, no burning, anything like that. So that was a big reason there, is to try to help assist that mulcher on some of the bigger trees. But also stand alone by itself, where it can go out and do jobs, demolition.
Correct.
Stuff like that.
And in case people watch this and didn't see the first one, one thing that really makes you different, you don't leave piles when you clear land.
We try not to. Absolutely.
You either haul it off, mulch it,
Yeah.
or, you know.
It's very rare that
Right.
we'll leave a pile, and I really stress it to the customer, make sure they have the ability to take care of that pile. And if I do a pile, it's a lot different than most folks. You know, where you see a dozer, there's no way for them to get it all in a pile and them not push up dirt in there. Where with that excavator, I've got a claw. So I
Oh.
pick it up, well, the dirt's falling out, and I'm separating it into
give
this
it a little
pile. So
shake.
it'll actually burn.
Oh, good.
You know, I have one coming up in Graham pretty soon, and that's what he wanted to do, is just leave it in piles, you know, but we definitely explain that. And the reason for that is there's boulders everywhere. So the dedicated mulching machine is just not an option. And haul-off's not really an option being out there due to the distance. So he felt comfortable doing it, but we're going to explain that before. You know, if that's what you want, okay, but I'm not going to come out there and make a pile that you can never burn, and then you have to call us back to come mulch it.
Yep. Not going to do that.
know, yeah, we're not going to do that. So.
And I call it pile patrol. As
Yeah.
we're out getting content,
Yeah, absolutely.
pile.
I mean,
Got a
Michael sent
pile.
me something recently. Hey, man, I see some piles here. Follow up with these people.
right. Capri,
And-
same way. Like
yeah,
we have our
absolutely,
whole
yeah.
Jacoba, the whole team. We're all looking for piles.
Well, and that's the biggest thing for me is the community with Branded. You know, yeah, obviously Capri and everyone here is a team, but the other companies you guys represent, like Crown. I mean, I've talked to Jeremiah a little bit here and there and try to recommend him. He actually recommended me today, so
wonderful
it's a
how that
community,
works.
and that's really what we seen before we went with you guys.
Oh, yeah.
That's what makes a big difference.
Yeah, and same. I mean, we're busy enough where we get to be picky about our clients.
Yeah.
If people are shady or we don't feel like they're good people, we can say, you know, we just don't think this is a good fit. We won't say why.
Yeah.
We'll just say, you know, just the marketing. You know,
Yeah.
it's just not a good fit. But as our community grows, we can be, you know, a little more.
Oh, and absolutely, and I mean that's the same thing for the customers. We may not be the right fit for them.
Right.
Or they may not be the right fit for us, and we're going to be upfront and honest, and that way when we get, you know, into the job, there's no issues.
Right.
Every customer we do a job for, we like to meet them, talk to them, explain the process. Actually, we've got a job coming up in Montague. He's seen a lot of the videos. We had the job before I ever even went out there, just because some of the stuff that we're doing. And that really makes a big difference.
And that's what Capri and, you know, the branded team we're trying to do is just show what makes you different.
Yeah.
Why you don't even have to think about it. Just call them, come out, and they'll take care of you.
Well, and she's doing such a great job with that. Like, she made a post the other day about Jacob and the fishing and his many talents with the mulching and stuff
I
like
love
that.
that
I would have
post.
never thought of that. You know,
I know.
I always post, well, hey, here's the job that we did, and then give a
Oh
description.
yeah, your machine, clear land. Machine,
Yeah,
clear
and
land. But
there's
we're
so much
trying to
more.
show you as a family, you know, you as a company. It's not just the machines. It's,
Yeah.
you know, that
well,
you
she
can
did
trust
such
these
a great
people.
job tying that post together, because she tied it back into what a great operator he is. Because in those photos, you can see he cleared all the way up to the pond edge. It takes a very good operator, because there was trees, I mean, pretty much in the pond on the edge.
Wow.
And it takes a very good operator to, number one, make sure the trees don't just end up in the pond, and then we have to bring the excavator out and get them out. Number two, make sure the machine doesn't end up in the pond.
Yes, because it gets muddy and you can just sink one quick.
Yeah, it really didn't look like a very desirable pond before we started, but when we got done, it really looked good. Mr. Barnes was very happy with it and left us a great review.
He
and
did.
Those are the things that we enjoy. You know, kind of the specialty things where you really kind of got to have some skill to come in and do it. And like I've
Right.
said before, Jacob is phenomenal in that mulching machine. I mean,
He
he's
is.
spent. That's pretty much all I have him do. He's ran the excavator. He can do it, but I put him in that mulching machine, and that's what he does every single day. So he is very
He's
good
so
at it.
good at it.
I mean, he's gotten so good to where he knows if there's even the slightest thing that machine's not right, he knows he's on it. So
Right. Right.
that makes a big difference, because there was a time where we didn't know, and then it cost you in the end. You know, so.
On our end, as far as marketing, we understand that not everyone has Facebook, not everyone watch podcasts, but we understand that this is a catalyst. So there's going to be some people who see it, and then they're going to tell people about it, and then they're going to have a good experience with you, and then also tell people, and then it just starts snowballing. And then those people may be on Facebook and say, oh, I heard about Zach.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so it's nice to see it all start.
Well, and that's the thing. I used to, when we'd kind of get down on work, I'd really search and look, because there is a lot of work to be found on Facebook in these groups and stuff. I don't do that anymore.
Nope.
No,
don't have to.
I mean, I don't even worry about it, because I know it's going to come. I mean, lately, like these past 2 weeks with the ads that we've done, yeah, we got to get after it because the work is coming in for sure.
It is.
So
It is. I know somebody said, do you need someone on your sales team? And I said, we are our sales team.
Yeah.
We don't have time. And they're like, oh, you need to go talk to so-and-so. And I said, we don't have time right now. We're on a hold. We got to take care of the clients that we have, and grow correctly. But, by the way that we market and word of mouth, we advertise ourselves.
absolutely,
And
yeah.
that's what
And
your
that all
company's
kind of goes
turning
back
into
the community thing, though, because you represent good people. Everybody that you guys represent's great to work with and everything like that. So everybody's kind of watching out for each other. If I see something for Jeremiah, and I've got buddies that do the same thing that Jeremiah does.
There's
But,
lots of builders and fabricators.
I know that he does a very good job and he treats people right. That's the biggest thing for us. And that's why me and Derek Winter with Fine Cut Land, he's the one that recommended me for that commercial right-of-way job. And I recommend him every chance I can get because he does what he says he's going to do every single time, and he takes care of people. And it makes a huge difference.
And I mean, your team is your family.
Yeah.
Or people who are very close to you. You don't show up with a team of strangers on someone's property that, they can't know or trust.
Well, and that's what I've always tried to stress about the difference between Stewart Ranch Services. You're dealing with me and Jacob. We're both the owners of the company. We're not making a call to figure out, what do we need to do, or did we make this agreement with the customer or not? No, we made the agreement. We know what to do. Now, if a little issue comes up, we're going to go talk with them and say, hey, here's our options. Here's what we think. How would you like to proceed? And it makes a big difference because there's no delays. It makes the process very quick. And it's a more personal experience. We want it to turn out exactly how they want it, It makes a huge difference.
It does.
For sure.
It does, and it shows.
And we like running the machines. I mean, you'll see Jacob in the machine sometimes more than me because I do a lot of the bids and some of the other stuff. But he's very capable to handle it and does a great job. So.
But yeah, all of you do. I'm really happy and excited.
Well, we're really excited to bring my dad on board because the biggest thing with my dad is, like I said, it's do people right. For as long as I remember, and he doesn't do anything without being led by Christ. That's just how he is, and he told us from the get-go, look, I'm going to pray about this, and if it's not the right move for me, and that's not what he has in plan, I'm not doing it. I'd love to work with you guys, but if that's not the plan, I'm not doing it. And I know that's going to make a huge difference for us, having him on board. So.
It will.
So they won't just see me and Jacob as some young whippersnappers anymore either. So.
Well, I mean, once
we really don't. I mean, I kind of have an old soul, I'd say, for most people.
For sure.
And Jacob does too, But for figuring people out, my dad, he's got it. I mean, there's been several times where he's told me, hey, that ain't going to go the way you think it's going to go or whatever. And I'm like,
you're like,
yeah. And then he's right. So
yeah, but now you're old enough to know, like, just listen.
Yeah.
Well,
and that's the thing.
That age.
Yeah, absolutely. When he says it, all right, yeah, he's probably right. And I learned that a long time ago, not just with him, is if an older person's trying to tell you something, it's not that they're trying to put you down or discourage you. It's they've probably been through it. So you may want to listen to them. And you can't always, I mean, sometimes you have to go off of what you know. But a lot of times that's really the way to go.
Yeah, and a lot of our social interactions, and a lot of times it's me, so sometimes I'm talking to myself, I really like to talk to the oldest person in the room. I learned so much, especially from all these social gatherings, just to make sure that I spend time and I listen. I don't just talk the whole time.
My father-in-law, he knows how bad I am. We'll go out somewhere and I'll run into someone old and he'll say, oh, there's Zach over there talking to the old man again.
I love it.
That's just how I am.
It's one of my hobbies.
Because you never know who you're going to meet. And that's what we enjoy about this. It's, who we meet and the connections we're able to make. And even if I'm not the right fit, I could probably land you with someone who is going to be the right fit. It's not about the money for us.
Right. And I like talking to people in their 80s right now. Like, what do you think of this current situation? What is this like for you? Like, they've been through World War II.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's just, I just cannot get enough of their perspective. You know, and it's different. It depends on who you talk to.
Yeah.
But it's just so important to
well, there's always so
respect and
much
listen.
change, you know, and that's what I always said about my grandpa is he didn't get with the times. You know, he didn't get with the internet and some of these things, so he kind of, you know, he worked hard his whole life, and we realized we like the old stuff, and you know, but you do have to stay somewhat modernized.
Yeah. I mean, you can go out hand out flyers all day, but
Well, that's
you're
what he
going to
did.
get a lot
Yeah.
more bang for your buck if you throw a TikTok out there or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, whatever it may be, and
Whatever
I
it is
kind
at
of
the
learned that
time.
growing up, you know, selling stuff with him, is he had the ability to get it, but I had the ability to actually, you know, put it out there for more people than just me
Right.
and him going around to the flea markets or whatever and telling them about it. You're reaching a different audience. So
Correct.
I
Oh,
brought that.
I don't know if you heard, we just signed on the Lions Club.
Oh, okay.
We're going to market for the Lions Club because they do great things for this community, but they're missing the marketing aspect
Oh, wow.
of it. You know, people just used to know it was kind of a rite of passage. I joined the Lions Club. You know, I
Yeah.
go Wednesday at lunch and whatever. Well, that's been kind of lost throughout the years. And we're going to try to use marketing to show people what they do, why you should join Lions Club, what, you know, how they can help the community. We didn't know they did eyeglasses.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I didn't know
I mean,
that either.
if there's a kid in this community that needs eyeglasses and can't afford it, the Lions Club takes care of it.
That's great.
I didn't know that. I just thought they did parking and, you know, lunches.
Yeah,
Didn't
me
know.
too.
But
Well, and that's what we try to do sometimes too. I mean, we've seen a huge following grow on our Facebook ever since you guys and Capri have been helping us.
well, you got off to a great start.
We did get off to a great
You're-
start, but we've seen a huge increase in the following. So sometimes if I see some very valuable information, I try to put it out there because you never know who it's going to reach. Like right now, the SBA is in Montague for the families that were affected by the tornado. Well, there's a lot of people that probably don't know about that.
No.
But the Bowie News shared it, so I just went ahead and shared it on our Facebook page because you never know who could see that and who it may help.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, because even though the tornado was, you know, 2 months ago? Has it been-
roughly, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of people struggling with
Oh, absolutely.
Still struggling.
We actually I landed a job the other day where the tornado came through and it damaged a lot of trees. And he's just now kind of getting ready to where, okay, I need to get this taken care of. He knows he doesn't have the ability to do it, and it's a lot of work. We'll probably be out there for about 2 days.
Wow.
There's a lot of damaged trees and big trees.
Big.
He was kind of up at the high point on Lake M&G Carter near Selma Park, and it just luckily his house and everything was okay, but there's a lot of damage to the trees. So there's still a lot of people out there that have damage that haven't been able to do anything with it yet. So
Yeah, or they're fighting with insurance. Or,
yeah, and that's what I recommended to him. I told him, you know, I don't know that they'll do anything, but I would definitely call your insurance. You know, you have the documentation, you have the estimate from us. See if they're willing to help. You know, they may not, but it's worth a call. You know,
It sure is.
because no matter how you cut it, the land management and taking care of this stuff, it adds up quick. You know, these machines are very expensive and they take a lot to keep them going. So
They do. They do. Well, we're ready to get out there and get the next video of the big boy. Or have you named the big excavator? Do you name your machines?
not really.
No?
not really.
Do you mind if we name them?
Go ahead. Go ahead. No, we really don't. Not that we shouldn't. But.
Yeah. Maybe we'll turn that into a thing. I don't know.
So yeah, we're really excited to get in kind of to the heavy haul. Like I said, we'll be doing some hauling. Like big reason I got is my buddy Jake Garnes. He's got a big dozer. Well, he doesn't have the ability to move it. He's got a lot of equipment and stuff, but he doesn't. That's the only machine that he has. He doesn't have the ability to move it. We do now.
Okay.
So we're going to be helping him with that. I know some other guys in Bowie that they have big dozers, but they've sold off their trucks and they're just subbing it to somebody else. So we're going to kind of go after that and some of these rental yards around here, the pipe yards, stuff like that. And that'll kind of be my dad's thing and what he's doing. And it'll lighten the load on me and Jacob on having to worry about that stuff.
Good.
So.
And you're still the contact person. You don't need a dispatch person.
No, not right now.
Dispatch, I think I said
Yeah,
that.
not right now because we're going to kind of walk slow into this heavy haul thing. I mean, my dad's got a lot of experience, but there's a lot of regulations that we have to follow, a lot of paperwork that we have to do. So we're going to start off kind of doing some of our own stuff and working in some of the other clients, but then I want to go full force and, have him running ragged.
Yeah, well, now's the time because everyone's moving here.
Yeah.
Still, regardless of everything that's going on. It's weird, but everyone's moving here. So,
And what I've seen lately is there's not a lot for sale. I mean, there is, I know Kaysen's got some stuff out there for sale.
yeah, but
and
it's
stuff.
not for long.
Yeah, it's really not.
I mean, we put it on his Facebook page, and then Jacob was like, the next day, update, sold.
Yeah.
Update, under contract.
Yeah, it goes quick.
It
so,
does.
That's a big thing for us. If you are looking to move to the area, you are looking to purchase land, and you're not sure, what it's going to take to get it cleaned up or whatever, give us a call, and we'd be happy to give you an evaluation on what it'd take.
Right. And I love the expert opinion. I really want to get you and Kaysen and Curtis Green walking through a field together that someone's about to buy and say, we need to do this, we need to do that.
Yeah, we'd
3
love
experts.
to do that. And because for us, it could be life-changing for that customer. They may have the funds to buy the property, but they may not quite have the funds because they don't do this every day. They don't know what it's going to cost. They don't know what it's going to take to get that land cleared up. Like, I don't know, 2 months ago, I looked at one in Nakona. It was a big tract of land, but the back part of the land, you couldn't get to it. It needed a huge road crossing put in. And she's not going to sell it unless you do that. I mean, if you can't access it, you can't sell it. And especially for a buyer, who wants to buy something that
can't even get to
30 acres, you can't get to it.
Yeah.
That's not really worth it, and it's going to take a lot of money to come in there and do it the right way to gain access to that. She's not quite ready to that point to where she wants to do that. It's been in the family for a long time. But if you're looking at a land like that and you don't know that, it could be a very costly mistake.
Yes.
So
Big time.
And it's all about picking the right realtor. I mean, Kaysen's going to advise his clients right. I know Terry Williams, she's going to advise her clients the right way. And there's a lot of good realtors around here.
So many. And they're all slammed.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I do not know one realtor that's just like kind of sitting around.
Yeah.
They are all so busy. Oh, goodness.
Well, and they're having to work hard to get these people into these places.
And quick.
Because I did just a little bit of searching. Jacob lives down at 287 and Harmon Road. And he may move, he may not. I did some searching for him yesterday. There ain't nothing out there for where he wants to move. I mean, he's thought about moving over to like Rome area. There's like 4 houses for rent. And so they're not cheap at all. So where 2-3 years ago, it was easy. You get a house like that, no problem, $1,500, $1,600. Now you're lucky to find a house for rent under $2,000.
I know.
And
so strange.
Yeah, maybe it'll convince him to come out this way.
Probably so.
Yeah, maybe.
I imagine
We'll
so.
see.
Maybe we'll see. We'll keep trying.
Yeah. So.
Okay, well, Zach, this was awesome. We look forward to your next one,
Absolutely.
next video.
Yeah,
and
we'll definitely be doing
we're here
another
to
one
help.
pretty soon.
You
So,
are too.
Thanks for doing this with us, and
Heck yeah.
look forward to keep progressing.
Yeah.